Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sorry about that. I had to fix another camera because I wanted to have a video feed of my reading poems that doesn't have everything backwards because it's in selfie mode just to do a live feed for you guys. So I'm sorry for that breakup, and it's back to being live, and I'm going to share with you some poems from Down in the Dirt, issue collection book from 2020. The first one is called Foundations. I apologize that everything is backwards on the Facebook live feed, but this is why I'm putting it on another camera as well, so you can see it two ways. I'd like to continue reading poems from the Going Off Grid section of this Down in the Dirt book. This first one is a short one, and I've got these glasses on in homage to Tom, the world poet, who I normally come to open mics to the first Wednesday of every month, because he always has these glasses, and I'm always putting them on and making a joke, but I can't look through them, which is why I'm not looking. It's like blinding to do that, so I keep it down here just for the effect, because Tom and transplants to Texas making a poetry difference, even if you're coming all the way from Australia, Tom. But anywho, I was going to share with you some poems. This is a really short one at the end of a piece of prose, and it is also accompanied by an Instagram image that was released on Instagram, and I have to show them to different cameras, on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr, but not Pinterest. I had to think about it because I have all these different things. I wasn't sure. So this is a short one that appeared online with imagery as well, and it's called Quickly, Life Can Turn. Most days are just that, average, uneventful. The monotony can become your purgatory, but know how quickly life can turn in an instant, beyond your control. So embrace every moment, cherish the details, revel in life. Short pieces that would work for accompanying prose. I am now going to read to you a block of poems that I believe are related to different things that happened in the month of March, I think, because this one was written on and for Texas Independence Day, which is March 2nd. In case you wanted to know. This one is called Each Trigger Pull. Once I got to the gun range today, saw that the rifle range was closed, and learned that a real estate company is considering buying the land just past the range, so they got an injunction, a court order, to stop the gun range firing guns pointed toward the extended land. I'm not sure if they actually found any expended bullets or casings out there, and as far as I know, no one has bought that land yet, so now they have to just sit there and wait. The way the Republic of Texas waited 9 years to be part of the United States of America, after claiming their independence on March 2nd, which happens to also be the birthday of Sam Houston, who led Texans to victory over Mexico in the Battle of San Jacinto, which may be a reason these Texans here seem to have a stronger attachment to their guns than a lot of other states, because they know too well from their own history how vital it was to embrace these firearms to preserve their lives. That may be something other states in this union have forgotten. We can turn a blind eye to violence and think that it'll never touch us, when it is probably just lurking just around the corner, and no one knows it. I see a wave for Jeanine, so I'm waving back. Now I'm going to keep reading. As I sit here in one of the bays at the gun range I now wear protective eyeglasses and ear mufflers, ear gear with enough force to protect my ears and enough pressure to crush my skull. Watching the smoke from every shot rise from the gun in front of me, I can still hear the 9mm pistol and rifle shots fired in our bay, and the AR-15 shots fired in the bay next door. Each trigger pull releases a thunderous boom, and it almost reminds me of fireworks. Here on Texas Independence Day, the noise is something that seems so strong, but really, like fireworks, it's only something that reminds me of celebrations and celebrating. Give it up for Texas Independence Day. Can you believe I wrote something for that? That's why I'm keeping my 312 hat on, because it's a Chicago-founded poetry bomb, and that's why I'm doing these live feeds. Give it up for poetry. I hope you guys like these. This one is a fun one that was actually written on Alfred Hitchcock Day, which is March 12th. National Alfred Hitchcock Day. Did you know that's a thing? No, you did. That's what happens when you start to write things for different events of the year, because you write a poem a day throughout all of 2019. This one is called Vanishing Psycho in the Rear Window. Ever since leaving the hospital, everything now comes to you like some sort of surreal movie where everything seems so proper, like life exists in black and white. Black and white, cut and dry. They're either too nice to you or they want to kill you dead. So start strenuously searching. Look for the full color truth. Everyone seems cordial to you, almost too nice is all you think, and you're sure they only say half-truths whenever you ask, so you know you can trust no one. The harsh punishments you face mentally from those who claim to love you are now filling you with more terror and more suspense, wondering how everything ends. You stay behind the camera lens. You try to record everything to cover your tracks and stay out of the limelight. You think it works, but they still seem to turn to you nonetheless. So beware, your dear old mummy. Stay clear of anyone or anything who may try to do you in. Avoid high places when someone might try to push you to your death. But still, your danger may come from above. So beware of the birds circling like masked daggers above. Beware. You know that you are haunted, now being one who knows too much. Even avoiding strangers on a train, because the lady can vanish in a flash and no one will know your malaise and your misery. They're like M for murder, even in the privacy of your own home. So, double lock all of your doors. Hope you've covered all the bases. Blinds stay closed. Close the drapes. Put towels under the bathroom door. And just try to relax in the shower. I have to wave back to everybody. I keep seeing people giving me waves, and I don't know how to wave back. I'm just seeing that in flashes, but you guys are awesome. I'm seeing people from Austin and from Chicago reading or hearing this, and I love you guys for it. But I'm going to go on more March-themed events from this book, Down in the Dirt Foundations. This is the most recent book release. This one's called The Value of Pi. Yes, it's for the 14th, 3.14. 1592. I don't know how, I can't figure out how far it goes, and so what? This is a piece that's called Value of Pi. Why is this number with far too many decimal places so important anyway? They say the area of a circle is pi r squared, but the Bible will tell you that must mean that pi is 3. No decimals, just 3. Oh, it's just 3 based on the number of cubits to make it around a circle. Actually, a rabbi later argued that the Bible could be correct if in the Bible they measured the inside of a pot to define the circle versus the outside, which was an ingenious way to work around that biblical inconsistency. I don't know if the number of decimal digits is always that important, because back in 1969, the number 3.1416 got man to the moon without all the extra decimal digits. I mean, even in the transcripts of the famed O.J. Simpson trial, you can find arguments between the judge and an FBI agent about the actual value of pi. Oh, speaking of the Simpson trial, to quote Peter Beckman in his 1970 book, The History of Pi, quote, 3 centuries ago, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz co-inventor of the calculator and co-discoverer of the first infinite series for pi, dreamt of the day when courts could be abolished because disputes could be settled mathematically by solving impartial equations that would show who was right and who was wrong. End quote. Beautiful idea, isn't it? Using math to explain the universe. Physicists may have been doing this for years, like Albert Einstein, known for other equations that was actually also born on 3.14. Apparently pi is that much of a big deal that you can find pi in the measurement of the Great Pyramids in Giza in Egypt. Yeah, the vertical height of the pyramid and the perimeter of its base have the same relationship to the radius of a circle, which is to its circumference. And really, this pi number, Archimedes' constant, which is the 16th letter of the Greek alphabet, is such an irrational number, since it can't be defined in a fraction, and probably why I'll never remember enough of the numbers in pi in the first place. But why, when astronomers didn't have massive computers or expensive calculators in the 1960s, they just settled for 3.1416 for pi. Historically, the number of pi has been used as early as 4000 BC, and at each time in history, from Egypt to China to India to Persia, only an approximation was used. Because this number of non-repeating, non-ordered numbers to infinity is a number we have all wanted to understand throughout history. I mean, people obsessed with pi can even find your birthday in pi. I've got a web address for it. Yeah, facade.com/Leslie/AMIIMPI. The birthday in pi. That's so cool. Anyway, yeah, that's how crazy people are. Sorry, let me get back to the poem. I don't know, but some pie may be a tasty dessert treat, but when it comes to math, everyone, for one reason or another, is fascinated by this infinite series, because really, it amazes us that one specifically weird number, this one transcendental number, can mean so much to so many people in so many ways throughout the world. All right, I'm gonna have to totally change gears with the poems here because, I've got two that are just gonna totally blow people's minds after I did my science poems. This poem is called Zeal was Unbridled, and it was written on the calendar day of Adolf Hitler signing the Nero Decree, March 19th. Yeah. This was weird to pull this one off. To come up with this one. I hope you're ready for it. Slaving, I risked my life. And in these struggles, I had a vision the entire fatherland would ultimately embrace. This was your salvation. You begged for it. Your zeal was unbridled. But as time wore on and the masses were too blind to truly fulfill your destiny. You don't understand. I earned the Iron Cross for my unbridled heroism. I fought in the streets for the right kind of government, for my people. And I changed my life so I could be your servant. And now you all betray me so. I have always fought, and that has been my decree since the beginning. No, to never surrender. And as I continue to fight, all I see all around me now are cowards. You should want to die instead of turning your tail to run. Deserter. You deserted your destiny, not me. This is the only proof to me that this was never your destiny after all, and each one of you should perish. And if enemies come to take over my land, we should leave them nothing, only a scorched earth. And since my people stopped fighting, let them die too. I want to make this clear. It is not my vision that was faulty. It was your inability to fulfill your goals and ultimately make this empire reign 1,000 years. Your unbridled love for these ideals should have sustained you. So, you have no one to blame but yourself. You don't know how difficult it is to write something from the perspective of Hitler. I don't know how you pull that off, but when you're writing things for different themes for every day, you come up with all sorts of ones. This one I wrote, this is the last one that I was going to share with you from the Going Off Grid section of Down in the Dirt's collection book Foundations. And it was written for Lent, and it is called Xena Jeanine. Give me this time. After the richness of our foods and our excess drink, wallowing in our wealth with our gluttonous indulgencies, please allow me this time. As days grow longer, I'll need this time to reflect on myself, to contemplate the world, to reach a better understanding and connection. Consider this penance for all I have done, and trust me, I will keep all of my strength as I sacrifice all during these 40 days and 40 nights to focus on what I truly need and what I truly believe. My soul has been too old to die so young, so this is why I need this time to reflect and realize what more I must do to make the world worth celebrating again. Please, I think you have understood that I am so completely different from those around me and those before me. So let me now have this time so I can piece it all together once and for all. Wait for my return. I believe the reward will be worth the wait. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you guys all for listening, for watching, for whatever. But that was another section of the poems. I'm going to come back and live in like 2 minutes and read more because this is Poetry Bomb time. I hope everyone is hashtag poetry bombing because we are all stuck in our homes and we can't go out into public like the Poetry Bomb originally intended as every year. So I hope everyone is sharing in the love for Poetry Bomb, founded in Chicago and now going everywhere. So I will talk to you guys. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you in just a few minutes.